These my dollars make it hurt.
Welcome back to a Week 10 lineup edition of the Deep Cover Podcast. I'm your host, Kerry Stevenson, at Kerry1313 on Twitter. Shoot me a follow over there. As always, shout out to my boys, my brothers, Mike Crawford, Chris Aguilera. If you're a new listener, do us a huge favor. Like this video, subscribe to the channel. Then kind of stay in touch and get all this great content we're trying to bring you. I got some other stuff coming down the pike real soon that we're really excited about. So, stay locked in with us. Want to apologize for last week. I wasn't able to get a lineup to you guys. Went on a much needed mini vacation. I was going to try to do something early in the week, but there was so much news, so much up in the air. So I didn't really feel like it was going to be something that was going to be usable. Was going to try to maybe do like a Twitter thread or something like that late in the week. But I was just kind of too busy to kind of work that in. And I didn't want to give you guys anything that you really couldn't use, anything substandard. So back this week, and we're going to jump right into it. Week 10, you know how I like to do. I like to, identify that quarterback and identify that stack early on. I really love this Vikings-Chargers game. And it just feels like a game that's destined to go back and forth, destined for shootout. And those are the kind of games we love in fantasy. Looking at this game, you could go either side of it. Herbert is going to be popular, so I'm kind of gonna kind of zig here, and I'm going to go with Kirk Cousins in this game. Chargers are probably going to be without their top corner, Michael Davis. They could be without their starting safety, Nasir Adderley. So again, that's going to create kind of the environment that we like. I mean, I think the way these teams play, it's kind of going to be back and forth anyway. But with the Chargers injuries on defense, the Vikings have major injuries on defense. This game just has shootout vibes, all over it. So I like plugging in Kirk Cousins to get this thing going, and he's a guy that's kind of falling under the radar. So like being able to plug him in, give us some upside, but also gives us that contrarian feel as well. So of course I'm going to stack them. And I'm gonna look at a obvious choice here. I'm going with Justin Jefferson. Only 9 targets the last 2 weeks, which has been a little strange. But the Vikings OC came out this week and said that he's deserving of more opportunities. So typically when that happens, the teams will make more of a concerted um, effort to get these guys more involved. So I'm expecting a big target game from Jefferson coming. Even without those comments, that's something I would kind of expect because I think the Chargers are going to be able to score in this game, and they're going to, kind of force the Vikings' hand in that sense. And this Vikings team is a team that doesn't really target a whole bunch of people. They, keep it pretty narrow. So if they're dropping back, Justin Jefferson has a pretty good shot at 10 targets in a game. So just really like his talent mixed with the game environment, mixed with the pace that both of these teams play at. They play at a pretty quick pace, both of these teams. And again, the Chargers are probably going to be without their top corner. So shaping up very well for Justin Jefferson this week. So I'm going to go ahead and plug him in. And then obviously, Kirk Cousins isn't going to be out there killing nobody with the shoulders. He's not going to be out there juking defenders in the run game. So we're going to need another pass catcher in here to really maximize, what he's going to be able to do. If he's going to go off, it's probably going to be, 2, maybe even 3 pass catchers involved in that. So going to get another guy in the mix here. Going Tyler Conklin. He's become one of those guys off the waiver wire that actually kind of hit. He's giving you solid involvement most every week. And then you look at the Chargers situation, they're giving up the 5th most DK points per game to tight ends. So go ahead and plug Conklin in here. And I really like, with tight end being such a shaky position, I like being able to kind of correlated with the quarterback that I'm picking. Just makes me feel a little bit better about my choice when I'm able to do that. So like Conklin, like the price there, 3,400, which helps as well. Then obviously I'm going to run this back. I really like this game, and I'm going to run it back with Mike Williams at 6,600 there. Um, Keenan Allen is only a few hundred more, and he's going to be very popular. And you guys know I like to try to find my leverage, and so my leverage here is Mike Williams. Been a little down since the injury, but his ceiling to me is just different than Keenan Allen's. I mean, Keenan Allen, he can rack up a bunch of catches, but Mike Williams can give you those chunk plays. He can give you those 2, 3 TD games, and so against this banged up Vikings defense, banged up secondary, banged up everywhere really. Banged up pass rush. Um, I like Mike Williams' chances of bouncing back. So plugging in Mike Williams there to finish off that game stat. So I think I've kind of squeezed all I can out of that game. But I'm staying in the leverage kind of frame of mind, and I'm going to plug in Zeke Elliott at running back in this lineup. This Falcons Cowboys game is looking like it's going to be pretty popular. But I think it's going to be more specifically popular with Dak Stacks and Falcons pass catchers as run backs. So I'm going to go the other way. I'm going to invest in the run game here and go with Zeke. The Falcons actually have a respectable run defense, but I think they're like top 10 in targets allowed to the position, and we know Zeke is one of those guys that always has that multi TD upside in this Dallas offense with all the weapons and everything that they bring to the table. So going to go ahead and plug in Zeke there. So at this point, I feel like we've kind of done enough kind of differentiating from the field. So I'm gonna start, plugging in some popular guys, some guys I like, and I'm gonna plug in a running back that everybody else is gonna plug in this week, and that's Dionys Johnson. So I'm gonna plug him in at this other running back spot. Um, I've said this before on this show. I feel like that Browns running game is bulletproof in my eyes. So being able to get a guy who should see upwards of 20 touches at 4,700 is nice. It's real nice. It's like somebody surprising you with some fresh baked cookies. Nice. So um, don't get much better than that. So I like going there. I'm going to go with another popular guy at receiver, and that's going to be Deontay Johnson. Um, he's a guy that pretty much get peppered with targets for the most part anyway. I think last couple games have been kind of weird in that sense, but he's mostly a guy that's flirting with double digit targets. But now you got Juju Smith Schuster was already out of the picture, but now you got Chase Claypool is out of the picture now. So Deontay Johnson should just back into double digit carries in this game. And I like his ability, 6,800, solid price, and his ability to make plays after the catch, create separation, do some things like to kind of separate himself from the field. So like going Deontay there. Now this flex spot got tricky for me because I usually lean heavily towards wide receiver in the flex. But in that price range is just not something, uh, not anybody I was kind of crazy about in that range. So instead of trying to force it with a receiver, I'm going to go with another one of these running back values. And like I said, we've done some things in this lineup that kind of venture out from the rest of the field. So I feel like I can plug in another maybe semi-popular guy, and I'm going with Mark Ingram here. Alvin Kamara has been ruled out, leaving Ingram to kind of shoulder that load at running back this week. Um, things like a 10 or 11% target share since he's rejoined the Saints. So that makes me feel better about putting a running back at the flex. I think he'll get a few targets in this game. The Titans are giving up 4.5 yards per carry to running backs, and they have a strong pass rush. So with that, I expect that when the Saints are throwing the ball, they're going to have Ingram back there, um, because he's trusty in pass protection, as a veteran back. So like plugging him in, only 4,500. And again, like I said, I typically go wide receiver there, but this is a week that I'm not crazy about the wide receivers in that price range. So just got defense left. I like paying up this week. I like the Bucks defense a lot. I like the Cardinals defense a lot. I think the Cardinals are going to be pretty popular. So I like paying a few hundred more and going with the Bucks defense. But I don't have enough for either one of those defenses this week. Or actually, you know what? The Cardinals defense is a couple hundred more than the Bucks defense. I misspoke there. Cardinals defense, I believe, is 3,700. Bucks is 3,500. But Cardinals are looking like they're more popular this week, so I like going with the Bucks. But don't have the room for that here. So I'm just gonna play the correlation game here. I'm gonna plug in the Cowboys defense at 3K even. Um, that defense is banged up. But the hope here is that Zeke, who we have plugged in this lineup, is kind of the catalyst to like an early lead for the Cowboys, and he forces more Matt Ryan dropbacks. And so in that scenario, I'm expecting the Falcons to put up some points, but I also expect a couple sacks, and hopefully we can get a pick or two and a defensive touchdown out of the deal. So that's what we're doing here. I like being able to correlate it with the running back play. So that's the lineup, man. That's this week. I'm gonna go ahead and close it out here. Again, do me a huge favor. If you like what you heard here, if I've helped you in any way, subscribe, like all those lovely things. Help us out. And that's it, man. Good luck in week 10 and go out there and get you some bread. See you next time.